Today we are talking about roadways, railroads, and canals. Okay, this is going to be how they traveled, how people traveled during the Industrial Revolution. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so building roadways. The nation needed good inland roads for travel and to ship. Remember in the last video how we were talking about the towns and the cities had roads that were crushed rocks, that were dirt, things like that. They weren't very safe to travel on. They weren't like roads today. They were very bumpy. They were very uncomfortable. Now, private companies built many turnpikes that were paid for by travelers wanting to use those roads. So turnpikes are still around today. If you've ever been on a turnpike, before you get on the road, you have to pay a toll fee. Usually it's like, it depends on how long you're on that toll. Usually it's like $1 or something like that. You see them a lot in Pennsylvania and places like that. There's some in Ohio that I know of, but not a lot. So turnpikes are still around today. When Ohio became a state in 1803, they asked the federal government to build a road to connect it with the east. Okay, so Ohio, we all know where Ohio is. They wanted to be connected to New York and things like that. Okay, they were kind of the western state right now. So in 1806, Congress approved funds for a national road to the west. This road took more than 5 years for members to agree on the route. The road started in Maryland and it goes to Vandalia, Illinois. So looking at this map, you see it starts in Maryland right here in Baltimore. Starts in Baltimore right here. The first section of the national road went from Baltimore to Wheeling. Okay, so it's only this little bit right here. Eventually, they agreed that the road would go all the way through Ohio, Indiana, and to Illinois. Okay, eventually Vandalia. Okay, it eventually went from Vandalia to St. Louis, but that was built by private funds, which is now a turnpike. Okay, so this really isn't part of it in this one either. So just know that the national road went from Baltimore, Maryland, all the way to Vandalia, Illinois. Okay. So looking at the questions about the railways, okay? These will be on Schoology. There will be a discussion post named Roadway Questions. 2 questions right now. What towns did the National Roadway pass through on the way to Vandalia? So you will have to go back into this video and look at, I just need 2 towns that you want to give me. Okay, it doesn't matter what to. List at least, so you're going to list at least 2, and then you're going to give me why having the national road was going through the towns was a good thing or a bad thing for that town. Okay, so you're going to list at least 2 towns that the national road goes through, and then you're going to give me whether it was a good thing or a bad thing that the national road passed through those towns. The next question: in what ways do you think the national road affected communities in which it passed? Okay, so the 2 towns that you gave me in the discussion post on Schoology, you will then tell me if or what effect that had on those 2 towns. Okay, what the effect of that national road had on those 2 towns. Okay.